Well, actually, it was a new process for me. I was sitting around, kind of waiting for a job offer from any team, and I texted my agent. He's like, "Hey, I don't think it's going to happen this year as far as spring training, and I have a couple other opportunities." And Tom Veith, is that how you say it? Veith. All right, yeah. He was put into contact with me, and I said yes right away. I was ready to go. Sounded like it was going to be fun. I want to play baseball, so. To be honest, the whole Canadian baseball thing was explained to me by my roommate in college, Drew Parker. He's from Ontario. He's a uh, he's a cool guy, but I never knew about independent ball in Winnipeg or anything like that. It was a whole new aspect of baseball that I hadn't seen before. And when I was coming up through the organizations, I was told this and that, indie ball, this, that, but I'd heard from one guy that he went to indie ball and regained a respect for baseball because it is actual baseball. It's not, trying to monitor every aspect of our development and all this other stuff. You go there and you play. Well, my only answer is I've had a lot of practice with runners on base lately. I've been playing now for about 10 years, and I've been through, I've been a starter, mid reliever, long reliever, closer, but I've been brought in with guys on base, been brought in, start an inning, and gotten the guy on base by walk right away. And I've had every about aspect you can imagine from just experience, and I'm just comfortable now. Throwing a baseball in one direction is one thing. It's not that hard. I don't need to complicate by worrying about the runners. That experience was very covered with like adrenaline. Like it's hard to remember exactly what happened. I remember all the good feelings and all the stuff that just you can't explain. But I guess the biggest thing is just after it was all over, we had our little team party at the hotel, and I went up to my dad's room and like we talked for a sec, and he was like, "We just did that, dude," and I was like, "That was pretty awesome." Coach Jay and all those guys at Chipotle are incredible people, and it was their first one, and all four of our sports teams won their respective championships. So softball won, basketball won, female and male. So kind of cool. Yeah, it was a big event. I went into that game a little pissed off because I had broken my foot earlier in the year, and I was coming back from surgery, and I was busting my butt to get back. And we were in state, and we had won the first few games, and it was really kind of easy, and we had to lose two games in a row, so it wasn't likely. But everybody just kind of was like a little out of it and not very into it. So I went a little pissed off, and I don't know what happened. I was just throwing the ball kind of where I wanted to, and my slider was moving from one batter box to another batter's box, and they were swinging at it. So it was pretty epic. But it wouldn't have happened if I didn't have a little push to get back to the World Series because Grand Junction was amazing. I wanted to do that again. I always had a problem in spring training because it always seemed like nobody was around. It's just like I have to perform right now for nothing. Well, it seemed like nothing, but um, I don't know if it was my first experience in Grand Junction where all those fans were there, but in that environment, I just kind of like learned to feed off my adrenaline and work towards like being in that situation, like wanting coaches to put me in that situation. So I love playoffs because that's real baseball to me. Like, you play the other however many games consistently to get to the real exhibition, you know. So it's definitely a lot more fun. Focusing on collecting outs, going from out to out. And if something bad happens at the beginning, the first guy gets on by some dinky ground ball that nobody can come up with, you know, that can't escalate. That can't, you know, catch fire and make it worse. You know, you gotta eat your inning, manage your pitch count, and then, you know, just try to pitch the next day. So it's always about the next day, for real. Well, I'll start with Matt Jackson. He came into Chipola the year after we had won. So I went back to school thinking I was Mr. Happy Guy. You know, it was my first experience with real success. And you know, he came in and he just transferred from LSU. So, you know, he's got a couple brothers, I think, and he's just kind of a college guy. You know, he's fun loving, and I was different back then. So at the very beginning, I thought he was very weird. But I knew he was very disciplined and he busted his butt when he played, so I never had a problem with him. And then, you know, we kind of had a great year and went back to the World Series. And I have this picture. It's the only picture I had. Like I said, I broke my foot. And in the second game of the World Series, I sprained my right ankle. And I had that left foot still going on. So I was out for the last game. I ended up putting on pants and going out and hitting one more time. Hit a double. I turned it into a single because I couldn't walk hardly. And the picture is Matt Jackson, like grabbing me at first base. It was pretty cool. Yeah. And Casey Haerther, you know, I had a couple of years with him. He was a good hitter. Whoa. He was one of the best hitters I've ever played with. He could find bat on ball better than anybody I knew. And I've been playing with Cole Calhoun, Mike Trout, all these guys that are just next level athletes. And Casey Haerther just showed up, put the bat on the ball, and double in the gap. He was a freak. I liked him. Yeah. The last time I was told I was going to be a full-time closer was 2012, and that was by far my best year. Um, it's a certain level of confidence that it gives me, and it's kind of gratifying. I still understand that I gotta show up and do what I'm supposed to do, but it is nice having that understanding that that's what I'm going to be doing. Because, like you said, I've pitched more than one inning a lot, and I've always had a lot of success when the end of the game is on hand, like it's about to happen, you know, and just the thought of three more outs is pretty cool. And I like to be the guy to do it. It's been a little different. Last year I was in rehab for Tommy John with the Marlins, and I live in Jupiter, Florida now with my girlfriend. And I haven't been able to go to the field. I haven't been able to do those kind of things. So I've been doing what I had done for the first 8 years of my career with the Angels. You know, I work out at the house. I got my full setup. I am a runner. I like to run. I try to focus more on maintenance these days because, I mean, I have thrown a lot of innings, but and I also don't like to limit myself. I like to push it as far as I can because, you know, can't be afraid of getting hurt. You got to just go. And luckily my girlfriend's very, very, I don't know what the word is, enthusiastic about me staying in shape. I'm looking forward to the new experience. It looks like a great organization, and I've done everything in minor league baseball, so I want to see what this is like. I want to see what this, because I think it could be a rejuvenating thing to see baseball from the perspective of baseball itself and not this bureaucratic, different kind of baseball. You know what I'm saying?